Alright, I got FSD beta 10.3. Just wanted to do a quick test. Don't have a lot of time today, but just wanted to kind of do my normal route and see how it does. So my biggest hope is that it doesn't cross over the yellow line so much when it's faded, or when there isn't a line, doesn't cross over the center. So the biggest test for that is right up here. That's better. It's not accelerating quite as quickly, so I have time to scroll that speed down. Alright, so right here, this is the worst spot of all of them, and it's over the middle. It was right on the middle line, so I let it go. Any further over, and I would definitely have disengaged there. So that one's hit or miss. I'll have to test that again to see if it's staying on the middle, or if it's just kind of depends on the day. So it kind of did a weird back and forth thing right there for some reason in that curve. And we're way back too far. We've got to go up another 10 feet before it could see. Okay. This was better. It actually got over into the left lane more quickly than it had before. And that turn is much slower. It didn't floor it like it had in previous builds. So that is the first time in beta that I've actually gotten onto this road without at least one disengagement, sometimes 3 by that point. So that's actually great. So far, improvement for sure. So this intersection is the one where sometimes it would just kind of get in the left lane for no reason, even though I've got a right turn and navigation says to turn right. Like this. So it's getting in the left lane for no reason. And is it going to get back over? If there were cars around, that would not be good. That would have been a pretty awful experience, actually. This truck beside me is pulled way up, and the car was about to go before it could see. And he pulled up again to block my view. What the heck? Alright, so that was, that disengagement was due to, it stopped kind of far back, and it couldn't see to the left. There was a big pickup truck beside me, and then just started to go, so I hit the brake. And then the pickup truck pulled up even further as I creeped forward. So I wasn't going to re-engage it until I made the turn because of that truck. Unfortunately, I am noticing it's still stopping too far back. It's stopping where a line or stop sign might be, but that's not always where you should actually stop, because we have a lot of blind turns. Now, I will say, if that truck hadn't been pulled up as far as it was, the car probably would have creeped forward and made that correctly, but still it needs to account for, things like that happening. If a truck's blocking the view, then creep forward even further until you can see. Alright, so now that I'm in this area, I'm going to go ahead and route it back into town, see if it does a U-turn or if it goes into the next town and turns around. Navigate to Papertown Coffee in Canton. Yeah, so it's, what is it trying to do? No. I'm not letting the car go down that road. There's a little side road that's like 45-degree angle and super narrow down through there. I totally forgot that road existed. It's really bad. You wouldn't want to go down in there unless you have a car that's not as low as this. So I just pushed the accelerator and got it past that road. So now it's going to go up into this town, turn around. I'm not sure where it's going to turn, but let's see. Yeah, this is a bad choice. It's going to have me turn at the light and then try to make a left back off of this other road unprotected, and I'm not going to let it do that. So that routing, I mean, there's nothing technically wrong with it, but it's just a bad idea. So I'm not going to count that as a disengagement up here. It's just something that I hope they change, because I mean, it might be okay right now, but making a left turn at this spot is just not a good idea. I'm going to let it do it. So that's where I would normally turn if I was doing the same thing. So I think it's going to take me through the parking lot, actually. That's interesting. No turn on red. No turn on red. Disengage, unfortunately. I was going to try to make the turn on red. All right, it's going to take me through this parking lot. That's cool. So yeah, disengagement there because it needs to read that sign. You don't want to get a ticket. And it didn't even stop here. That's cool. All right, so I wish I had the other camera set up. It just stopped on the train tracks. It's a blind left here, and it was about to go. So this is about at B pillar level. I'm just sitting here since there's no one behind me. No one's coming at the moment, but from here, you really can't see if it's a short car unless you pull up further. So what it needs to do is pull up to about here, and then it can see the cars coming. Maybe. So I'm going to make this turn. Yeah, what it needs to do is just pull up a little further. Where it stopped, I wish I would have stayed there before I got my phone out to get that video. Where it had stopped, you can't see anything but, a big pickup or a semi coming. The angle is just too weird. It's too low and you just can't see over that hill. So that's 3. Pulling out of that parking lot, there's no stop sign there. So the car just needs to know that you're not on the main road, so you should stop. It just kind of pulled right out of the parking lot. Now, I will say in that spot, it's very rare that someone's coming up that road, because no one wants to come up that road when the next road over has a light and it's easier to make a turn. And I don't know if you can notice, but right now is the peak of leaf season here. I would say if I went out this afternoon, I would see some of the heaviest traffic you'll ever see in this area. Leaf season brings in people from all over. So let's see. So I'm going to go up through town and go back by that wall that it never turns left all the way at. All right, so I'm going 40. Speed limit is 35 here. Turns to 20 at this light. So let's see how quickly it does it. And 20. No. I would slow down a little bit more. I'll have to scroll down there manually because going over 35 and a 20 is not a good idea. I would still like for it to plan those in advance, just so that, if the speed limit is going to change, go ahead and start slowing down before it changes. So I need to get in this lane. I'm going to change my route. So I'm going to go right here. Oh, look at that. not paying attention. Because I'm trying to change my route. Give us waypoints, please. If the navigation gave us the ability to set multiple stops, to set a specific route, then I wouldn't spend any time trying to reroute it on the map. It's really a feature that I'm not sure why hasn't been implemented. It's a really basic feature that Google Maps has had for years and years. So, wow, I just realized something. That is probably why the cars always had issues at that intersection. I've never noticed because it's kind of faded. Okay, it was starting to make the turn and there was a truck coming. Okay, so that turn, it still thinks that this is the road. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. The car was starting to go. Previously it was thinking that that was the that it wasn't a turn, that it could just go without stopping. And it looked like the car was going to go ahead and go. It started accelerating. That truck was obviously coming down the hill, so I just went ahead and took over there. So it did a good stop there. Yeah, that would have been a disengagement either way, because I would have either disengaged to put the brake on or disengaged to go ahead and go and turn it quickly. I chose the latter just because it was starting to make the turn anyway. Didn't want to stop halfway. Turned right there. Right. So this will be a good challenge. The road is closed up ahead, but now it's not completely closed. It's closed to, through traffic, because there's only one little spot that's actually closed. But the signs are right up ahead. Whoa, what was that? Why did it just swing out in the other lane and put on the turn signal? All right, is it gonna slow down? No. Okay, so, that's odd, because it was gonna slow down in the previous builds. So, yeah. I was totally expecting it to slow way down like it did in the previous version when they first put that sign up. So let's see if it can make this turn by this wall. It slowed way down. Oops, that was my fault. That was not a disengagement. I just put a little bit much weight as it was making the turn, but it did make the turn completely on its own. It slowed down like it should and looked for the opening and then went for it. And, I'm at my destination. We've got one more turn and need to slow this down. 20 is the max you would want to go on this little road. So that's super impressive. It's not impressive how it was approaching that road closed sign. I don't know if it would have made the detour turn or not. It didn't look like it, but right. So it's still turning too tight here and then kind of flooring it over the hill, but not as badly. Before it would just shoot like a rocket. So right now it's driving in the middle of the road. It should not, but it's okay. There's no cars coming. But I would still prefer it to stay to the right. Maybe not all the way to the right. But just, you know, a little bit toward the right, just so it's not in the center of the road. When cars come, it's kind of a weird thing if you're the oncoming car and you see a car in the middle of the road, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.